Alright, so now we're back, and look at that, a different ethnicity for Leon now. That's because I'm now using some borrowed footage. I'll credit the YouTuber in a moment. I left his own name that he puts in his own footage anyway, so you can see the way he meant for it to be seen anyway.
Basically,
the point is...
folks, you see what's happening here? You have to let this happen.
Yep.
Count it up to, well, yeah, each sub-objective, which means, imagine standing around the hub world, waiting and praying that the Tims will get on and off. See, okay, here's the problem with the Tim system compared to, the Chow Garden. With the Chow Garden, everything was under your control. The Tim system makes the big drastic error of making everything based on how the AI feels. As in, you have to pray that the Tims will eat the drops that you're trying to feed them to get the right drops for what's now. You will have to pray that the Tims stay on that wheel, or you'll just have to throw them back on it. Maybe in a different sort of game, but where all the rewards and completion are in regards to this. Actually, no, even in a game centered around this, I don't think it would be a good idea necessarily, taking away agency from the player in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, look, now we've got this whole ride thing for the Tims here.
Basically, what I did was I read a guide on, and even watched the YouTube guide on how to get the balloon outfit, and I was like, lol, nope.
Oh, when are we going to explain how that's done?
Well, in a bit, actually. Right now, we're just building the entire tower. One of the most unfulfilling 100% tasks you will ever see in a game.
Those Tims are stuck there, glitching together, by the way.
Jova, allow me to remind you what happened to me during the final boss. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, no, this game still has glitches. I don't know what people are talking about when they say that, this game's glitches aren't as bad. No, they can be. And there's a reason there's a lot of unfair deaths, which they can, again, lose you a very valuable costume.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
That said, though, what is the Tower Tims, you're wondering? It's like a miniature amusement park for the Tims that only the Tims can do.
Basically.
Woo. What do you think, Shiroi?
A bunch of coconuts,
Shiroi's burped.
They are standing in a row.
She's taking a vow of silence on this one. Yeah. This one doesn't even look impressive. Look at this.
And again, look at how high the numbers can go. The next one is in the 40,000s.
14,000 actually, Jova. Yeah. This sounds like fun. It's just waiting around here like a moron for hours.
Level.
Look at this. This looks more like an elaborate mousetrap from a Tom and Jerry cartoon. Like, what the fuck is this?
Looks like, am I playing the Mousetrap video game?
A Mousetrap video game probably would have been more interesting than this. And honestly, at the very least, give us the option to ride in it first-person view or something. But nope. Heck, you need to move the camera around to even see it in its entirety. But hey, at least we made another trampoline. Now we gotta wait till 18,600.
24,000.
24,000. Jesus.
Holy fucking shit.
Well, this is so
bad.
Boring.
And again, maybe if they gave you stuff to do in the hub world, but no. At best, what you're doing is just
there you go,
throwing
complete.
the Tims back on the wheel.
And yeah, if you complete the Tower of Tims, you get an achievement/trophy called TikTok.
That's right.
I was expecting a grander looking tower, honestly.
Sure, you get a fancy little clock. Well, fancy big clock.
Well, I was expecting some kind of modern/steampunk fusion thing, but no.
I know, that would have been cool. So there you go, guys. If you wait and just stand around,
this is your reward. Totally worth it, right?
Don't get me wrong. The postcard in Super Mario Sunshine is a god-awful completion bonus. But at least you were actually doing something.
Yeah, there you go. So this footage... Hold on, let me credit. This footage actually belongs to Unbroken Odds. So thanks, guys. Thanks, dude.
You suffered, so we don't have to.
Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, thank you for your efforts.
And that's the thing. Technically, by completion standards, this is relatively easy in the sense like, well, it's not necessarily difficult, but man, talk about the ultimate test of patience. And again, for what? For what?
For nothing. Like
Wasting your life.
This is like I said. This doesn't look like a tower to me. It looks more like an elaborate mousetrap from a Tom and Jerry cartoon. I honestly have no idea.
Oh, but don't you
Looks
see
like an elaborate teacup ride.
Don't you see the Tims can ride it, but you can't?
Great.
Isn't that fun?
So there you go, Shiro. Instead of actually having fun with that thing, you get to watch the Tims have fun with it.
Oh, speaking of fun with the Tims, are we
So there you
going to
go.
talk about it?
Yeah, basically, if you raise the ultimate Tim, that's what it looks like, by the way. This thing will fly over the entire hub world to take you to the best outfit in the game.
Aw, they
It
didn't
looks
show...
like it came out of Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame that we didn't show the process of getting this thing.
Not the job. It's just accumulating rainbow drops. And raising Tims. It's not really that much of a big
I hope
thing.
this thing has a plush.
Actually,
It does.
Well, Pedro, there's a reason people whine about getting the Balan costume.
So there you go. The
is-
Balan outfit is literally the ultimate example of broken. You can just literally... It allows you to jump a total of 10 times. Yes, 10 times. While at the same time having a glide ability, meaning you can basically rape the levels in the ass with this. This is actually the funnest way of playing the game, basically.
Hey, gee, it's almost
you
like
get it all.
playing... well, it's almost like you're playing as Balan himself. You pretty much are playing as Balan himself.
Yeah.
And it is so much more fun. Gee.
Now do you feel accomplished?
No, because that's the thing,
Okay.
Shiro. Remember, we only get one of these, and remember, if we get hurt, we lose it, meaning we have to raise another ultimate Tim all over again.
Let me
That's
put it-
stupid.
I
Let me put it
know.
like this. Raising the ultimate Tim is
All right,
absolute
and
pain.
here you go.
the
By
English
Jova's
song.
request, here are the English versions of the songs.
With subtitles.
You know, Naka, you could have put subtitles in the ending too. Just saying.
He kind of forgot.
Yeah, as you can see, the lyrics are just generic friendship is great, you are not alone type of crap.
Except for Hooray. And Together. Actually, it's kind of only this one that's the generic fan crap. Which is why I don't really care for this song as much as the others. And by the way, there are full-length versions of these songs out there. So I don't know if there's an actual full-length soundtrack you can buy at this game.
There is actually a free disc original soundtrack released by Square Enix.
Are you sure "We're Now on Fire" is a good lyric sense in context?
That's the thing, Devs. I'm still convinced that this is a somewhat poor translation of the Japanese lyric, or the Balinese lyrics, rather.
There are no Japanese lyrics.
Yeah,
again,
Yeah, I get it.
Wait, actually, how do you make a poor translation of a fake language?
I don't know. Like the Naka's language is so convoluted that even he doesn't know how to translate it.
Gee, I wonder if these songs are all going to sound virtually similar.
You know, it's not helping when you say "when we're together" when that adult woman is clearly older than Leo.
Well, okay. To
Sounds
be
like a
fair, the
girl's
diver
name.
seems more like she's a teenager rather than an adult. To be fair.
Still too old for him.
Yeah.
But it's nice when we're together.
But don't you see, Shiro? This is just a matter of friendship.
I mean, haven't you seen Evangelion? It's okay.
It's only remember, Shiro. Leon already
I
had.
haven't seen Ava, so I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt.
Evangelion, yes, the poster anime for relationships.
Oh, here we go.
Here's
Hooray.
here's alright. This is Jova's favorite. I prefer the orchestral version that we hear in the credits, but sure.
Basically, this song is thematically about learning to get outside there and actually, well, socialize better in a sense.
Oh, so Miyazaki would love this song then.
Yes.
Anyway,
It's got great orchestration and actually a good theme to it. Just needs a better game to play.
yeah, it's no wonder why really Yamazaki chose this song as the one to be orchestrated for the credits, because yeah, it's definitely the better of the three, of the four rather. Well, no, of these three specifically, because the best song is still Wonderworld because it's the main theme, and the main theme is wonderful. But
It really does seem like Hooray was originally going to be the main thing, given how that was the one that showed up in the trailers all the time before.
the songs are also a bit too short. honestly.
Okay. There are full-length versions of the songs, actually, believe it or not.
On the soundtrack.
Yeah, on the soundtrack. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the reason they gave us the shorter versions is because
They
they didn't want the dance sequences to go on for too long. Okay, look, honestly, I'm just gonna say this. I wouldn't have minded slightly longer versions of the songs in-game, essentially. I mean, look, I know that these dance sequences aren't the best, but at least I can get some sort of enjoyment out of listening to the music more. And hey, the less time spent actually playing this game, the better.
Sure. But yeah, no, Shiro, you don't have to worry, Shiro, because we're operating on Knight's logic, story-wise, I mean. So Leon already has a love interest. It's Emma. So, you know, and Emma's the same age as him. So, remember, Jova, I know that in the Knights games, neither of the two kids get together. But let's face it, the dreams doesn't leave much room for imagination, Jova.
No, look. I'm perfectly fine with assuming that in the Knights games they're couples, but in
We
this
don't know
game...
each other here.
Well,
Okay, here's the thing. At least in the Knights games, there was some bouts of interaction between
yeah.
Here, these two, only met literally after one of them beats the final boss.
Oh, true, Joe. I know. It's just that, you know, when we get to that part at the very end of the credits where Leon and Emma finally meet each other, and it just screams ending of a Knight's story. I just get Knight's vibes, and I just can't help but feel that that's what they're going for again.
Here's the problem. They were already together when they left. When Bound boots them out, like I mentioned in the last part, they all end up in the park where Leo was.
Also, the animation of this woman, it looks like a fucking Muppet. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like she's a puppet being commandeered by another human.
I think the problem with all of these models
is Cassandra.
That it's AKA probably more of a main character in the novel than Emma was. Which kind of makes sense.
And yes, as you can see, everybody, there's only aside from Wonderworld, which was at the end, there's only actually 3 songs that get repeated ad nauseum throughout the 12 stages. Meaning, 4 times 3, you get to hear each of these songs 3 times.
No. Actually, 4 times.
You're right, 4 times. Yeah, you're right, 4 times. You get to hear each of these 3 songs 3 times each. Forgot the entire.
4 times.
Sorry, 4. Well, even worse then. You get to hear Array 4 times, Together 4 times. What's the other one?
Okay, Hooray, Together, Stronger.
Yeah, and Stronger. Well, you get to hear all these 4 together. You'll be so sick of all of these songs by the time you get to the end of this game because you keep hearing them over and over and over and over.
Sometimes we cry. Yeah, we wait.
I think these songs all have almost the same lyric.
It's because Dwebs, the lyrics are I'm sorry, Joe, but the lyrics are so bland, Dwebs, that they just blend together. It's just the songs are so bland with their generic talk of we're together, we're strong, we're stronger together, and we have this trade. It's just it starts blending through. Friendship is great. Yes,
We're best friends.
Okay. Despite the fact that I actually like Together, I will admit it does sound thematically very similar to Stronger. But I will still hold that Hooray is the one that actually stands out as the one that's not just a repodge of friendship or togetherness or whatnot. No, it's one that actually is trying to boast a good message. That said, who knows? Maybe if the full-length versions of the songs have been shown, they would have felt more different as well.
And here's the lady who was afraid to love. There you go.
Again, I love how the opening to this one looks downright goddamn romantic. Even though she's supposed to have a fiance.
And Leon is
Leo.
10. Leo is 10. So that's just not okay.
The fan fictions are gonna go wild, Shiroi.
Yes, they are. Sorry, Shiroi.
Gross.
And don't worry, Shiro, you can.
Anyone?
No,
So
I know.
So do they kiss?
No, they don't, fortunately. Well, remember, this woman already has a love interest. So
Even better!
Unless maybe she either
No,
cheats
no.
on him or they're in an open marriage.
Well, remember.
Anyone listen to this? This is a joke. Please do not use this against me for future reference.
This is you guys just like this is just one big circle of friends.
You know, considering the fact that it is confirmed that this has to be happening across time in order for Cassandra to be a thing, that means that some of these friends we made will probably be old or dead by the time Leo and Emma go back to their own time.
So, Shira, what do you think of the song now that you get to understand what they're saying?
I prefer the fictional language.
The Balinese ones.
Really?
Well, Shira,
Yeah.
I actually can I guess, Shira? Here's my theory, Jova. Because I also if it is indeed that would be the case with me as well. The fact that you don't know what they're saying allows you to come up with better lyrics in your mind. You know?
Well, not so much that it allows you to interpret them in your own way.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of, actually?
Go ahead.
What?
The scenes in Lord of the Rings where the characters are speaking the foreign elven language because the actual English dialogue is too cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like, I'm perfectly fine with the power of friendship stuff. Like,
Sure.
I don't
but
dislike
these are
it as
all-
much as most people do.
But
I
it's
just
all the
realized
bloody
those
same,
rabbits.
that's the
I
problem.
just realized those rabbit creatures look like Max from Sam and Max.
You need to start watching the Inazuma 11 anime, Shira, because that anime is parting like it's still the early 2000s. So. Oh, remember, remember, Shiroi.
Hyping up that that series. If I don't like it, I'm suing each and every one of you.
Wait, what? Everybody
Wait, why
keeps
me?
hiring that series.
No, everyone that hypes it up is like, oh, you'll love it. I'm like, okay.
Well, here's the gist of it, Tej. If you're in for some early 2000s style anime with lots of friendship speeches and all that stuff, then you'll have fun with it. But it's not high art by any means. Definitely not.
All right, that's fair.
And meanwhile, the fires blaze in the background. This is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the city is burning! Stop dancing, you morons!
All dance well, right?
Do your
Well
job,
done.
sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, remember all those people on Twitter, basically just dissing Sonic just to prop this game higher?
Yeah. Let me put it.
Well, this thing Sega is like, ha ha, screw you, Sega. You just lost your audience with Knights and Jet Set Radio. Ooh, I really hope that Bum Rush Cyberpunk is good.
Let me put it this way, Dej. In the beginning, right in the very first 2 episodes of the original anime, the protagonists are going to have a football game against what is the best school in the region. So of course they're going to have an underdog style of storyline and stuff like that.
You
And
youngsters, let me show you how to properly dance like we did in my day. Oh, my bones may hurt a bit from doing some of these old moves here and there. But
I think how the story went in those episodes was was it the losing school had to get rid of his football team.
yeah, basically. No, and then guess what? There's also an evil plan that the opponent team is up for. And guess what? The villain of that particular storyline even watches the match not from the stances, but by having a fucking chair that rises from the building into the top of the building. So he's watching the game from the fucking roof with his evil sunglasses.
Beyblade, how over the top it is.
I know, and it's played completely sincere, just like all those early 2000s animes.
Good.
you're a fan of those, I assume.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Beyblade.
Deji's a big fan of animes that have over-the-top, ridiculous premises, but take them completely seriously and sincerely.
Oh, but of course.
And that's basically what Inazuma 11 is, Deji. It's basically level 5's throwback to that kind of thing, basically.
Oh, wait, I love these lyrics. Oh, here we go. Because
Yeah,
I
so
played
did
this
I.
game. Because I played this
Are you
game.
sure? Are you sure this isn't a review of the game?
Because I played this damn game.
Well, I love I love the.
Had to get through
So,
this
yeah.
game.
This is the fourth and final song, Wonderworld, which is a vocal version of the game's main theme.
However, there are 2 variations of this scene that you can unlock in this game.
Yes, don't worry, I'll show the other one too.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not positive that much about this game. So you know,
Yeah,
Oh, don't worry,
don't need to
Game,
be
I
too
can
negative,
pretty feel
Shiroi.
about you.
See, Shiroi, you don't need.
Guys,
You see, Shiroi, you don't need to be too negative. Just open your heart and you'll see. The world is so magical. Isn't this world so magical?
I don't want to open my heart to this game.
But Shiroi, these dreams can all come
Open
true.
your heart and it will be alright.
No, nothing's alright.
Yeah. Hello to the underworld. Say hello to Balan's world, Shiroi.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Goodbye.
Anyway, I think I have come to a conclusion as to what's a problem with some of the dance scenes. It feels like every single model is rigged to the exact same skeleton. You know, like sort of one of those MMD or Gmod dances where everyone's rigged exactly the same.
Yeah, this game.
Awkward in those for a reason.
It's
It
about
feels
a
like
clear-
this game did that as well.
That's
which
why I
makes
said-
some characters look more puppet-like than others. Like
That's
as
why I
Pedro
was-
mentioned.
Well, yeah, that's why I was saying that there were clear corners cut. There was clearly no mocap of any sorts in this game. So the animators had to animate all the movements themselves.
And again, all rigged to the same model. It's,
Yep.
yeah,
Yay!
it also explains why the running looks awkward. But now it's time for the grand finale to show
So yeah, if you
the
will,
true labels of our hardware.
so yeah, if you 100% the game, this is what you get. And by the way, this footage here, this is from Wishing Tinkal. Thanks again.
So, if I recall correctly, you have to absolutely 100% complete the game to get the version of the final song with Balan
Okay.
in his true form.
Okay. Maybe I haven't actually looked at it all the way. Maybe you just need to unlock all the English versions of all the other songs. But whatever. The point is, this is a completionist reward. That's all you need to know.
Also, has anyone else noticed that Balan's hair completely changes when he takes the hat off? Like, when he had the hat on, his hair was more like in, like, dreads. But now it's, again, he looks more like generic anime protagonist guy now.
Yeah, you looked better with your hat on, dude.
But don't you see, it's to show that he is Lance, and Lance is Balan, and again, the whole tragic thing that I mentioned in the novel.
Well, there you
They're
go.
2 different characters.
Well, there you go. See, Jova, if we 100% the game, Leo and Emma get to dance together here. So there you go. That works. I guess that works as extra character development.
Oh, shit, more of them.
I will. What Jova said yesterday in our last recording is still living in my head.
That's the thing,
like-
Didge. Going off of the novel, Balan is apparently going to become Lance, and the tragedy is that he knows he'll probably have to endure this running cycle of becoming the bad guy because he dares to like humans, and I guess that means if the jesters in charge of this end up liking humans too much, they'll become corrupted and want to keep them there forever because the theater is just meant to help people, but they're not supposed to stay there forever. But Lance lost his way.
Deji,
God, he
what,
really is an anime villain.
Deji, what Jova just said about Balan's hair looking like dreads when he has the hats on is just the cherry on top to what he said yesterday.
Yes.
So there you go. In the meantime, since I'm getting a bit tired of watching this over and over, Shiro, start your final thoughts, please.
Oh, okay. Wow. This music deserves a better game.
It does. It definitely does. But go on.
I mean, I
Okay.
have no
Let's start.
investment.
Well, okay. Let's start with the positive stuff, Shiro. What do you think of
Alright,
what do you think of Ryo Yamazaki's music and Naoto Oshima's art?
The music is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I will be checking out the soundtrack after we're
Definitely.
done with this. Well, I have complimented like a few of the areas throughout this game, but it's just they don't look like they could be prettier, but I like what they were going for, particularly like the library.
Can I help you?
And I also like the bug area actually.
Yeah. Let me help you. I think what you mean is that Oshima's art direction is great. It's just that the in-game textures do a terrible job of making his art look as beautiful as it should. I'm guessing that's what you mean.
Yeah, because what you said about, or whoever mentioned it about this apparently being a mobile game at some point, I can see that from how it looks. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, definitely, and also how it plays too. Like, it feels so mobile game-esque. Oh, you just need to tap the screen to do this action here and there.
Also,
And
the
everything else you
Tim's
just-
thing.
Oh my god, this is
Yes.
still
That
going.
screams like that would have like a microtransaction alternative to get through it faster. Like, seriously.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that-
really does. feel
This
like-
this was totally worth getting all the Balan statues in the game. Carry on,
Another
Shiroi.
positive, I really like the character designs.
Yep.
Most of them, anyway.
Yeah. So basically, Shiroi, you agree that Oshima still got it, but that's the basic gist of it.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Seamus
yeah,
Company
music-
didn't have it.
Yeah.
Music, art direction, character designs, love a lot of it. I love. Honestly, this is kind of a good lead into the negatives, which is everything else. But
Yes.
the game is not as elaborate as the intro cutscene made it out to be, and that is probably the biggest disappointment, even outside of this being a very archaic platformer.
Question,
Like, this
Shiroi,
could
do
have
you
been
mean-
so much more whimsical than it actually was, and it's like, yeah, the stages have some creative ideas, but they weren't executed, like, I guess, well enough.
So when
But-
you say it's not as elaborate, are you referring strictly to the gameplay or also the story as well? I'd say both
Just the
apply. but for
presentation, the presentation.
different- Ah, okay.
Because, I mean, yeah, we have the intro cutscene, we have the dance sequences, you know, fair enough, but then the rest of it is just kind of there. And I think that's it, really. This was like, I'll be honest. I was gonna say I'm gonna forget, but I've actually forgotten a lot of the problems these characters had because
Yeah, I was going to ask what you thought of the story, but I guess that answers it.
I'm not made to care enough. And the novel, I mean, that exists, fair enough, but that should have been in the game.
Like, I had to practically bridge the gap between this group and the novel, for Christ's sake.
And that's the thing. Like, throughout this entire run, we've been coming up with better, you know, story ideas. We shouldn't have to do that. Like, they gave us so little that I had so much room to, like, interpret this however the hell I wanted.
So basically, kind of like how I interpreted the World Free of being the girl constant. So the message is shoving. If your friends don't like something, just shove it in their faces until they like it. Good job.
Or Chapter 11. If you're absolutely terrified by something that could threaten your life and is affecting your work, don't reconsider your career, but plunge right in, head first, go, and you'll amazingly succeed.
Or
Yeah,
how I kind of interpreted that the chess champion at the end is basically just just defeating children to make itself feel better.
And who could forget the dolphin chapter? Kids, if your friend tries to murder you at some point, just go up, say hi to them, and you'll be back to swimming along well with each other.
This
Brilliant.
feels like a
Well,
very
weird, you
backwards version of the Ace Attorney 5 case.
All right, Shira. Anything else?
I don't think so. This was Balan Wonderworld, and I didn't like it.
All right, go ahead and
There we go.
All right, go ahead and burp then.
Can I go
Blitz,
next?
go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think we've. Okay. I'll start with the positives as well. The music's really good. Now on to the negatives. To be honest, I didn't really like the art style that much for this game.
Fair
Even
enough.
if it was translated badly, I've seen much better from Oshima. I've got to be honest.
Sure.
Everyone just looks kind of creepy.
Even in the
Well,
CGI,
that was weird.
even in the CG cutscenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get what Dwibs means because even the CGI cutscenes, while they are some of the better parts of the game, they're weirdly inconsistent, as can be how some of the characters are designed. Like, some obviously look more Pixar-esque. Others look more uncanny for one reason or another. It's not perfect.
As for, I mean, the gameplay looks like something you'd get from like my first video game rated Peggy -3 or something.
That's pretty much the Game Boy in a nutshell.
Everything else just ranges from mediocre at best to, well, pretty bad. Like the boss fights.
What did you think of a story?
What story?
Don't you see, Dwibs? Emma just needed to learn that it was her birthday.
Jova, you asked Jova. In order for there to be a story, it has to be a bit more than a Wikipedia plot synopsis.
Honestly, I think a Wikipedia plot synopsis would be longer than what we actually got in this game. Cause
It's like I'm reading the Wikipedia plot synopsis of its own game.
You see, Emma was
like to me.
You see, Emma was sad until she learned to love herself and remember it's her goddamn birthday. Maybe people have a reason to shy away from her.
I've seen a WWE storyline that handles loving yourself much better.
Oh, are you referring to the Jetsons and WrestleMania crossover?
No, I think he's talking about it.
We should watch that.
I think he's talking about and the actual WWE shows, not
the actual WWE itself.
So not the Scooby-Doo WWE one.
No, well, I
it is surprising how many times Hanna-Barbera has collaborated with the wrestling scene.
All right, carry on this.
I can't wait for AEW versus Scooby-Doo Rough Rampage or something.
That could happen. John Cena has shown up in a Scooby-Doo movie. Don't underestimate them.
Carry on this.
As for other aspects I don't think I've mentioned, the dancing looks generic. The songs, the one that they had to make up their own language. The lyrics are horribly generic. I mean, I can't say much about the voice acting because there's barely any.
So what did you think of the problems we had to solve and how we solved them?
Yeah, the various little storylines with each individual character.
I mean, one or two were decent. The rest were just kind of just there.
And then some
they're so passive. You could literally forget about it after a minute after you've seen the last cutscene of that level.
And then there are just the bad ones.
Yep.
Honestly, Joe, I think they're all kind of passive.
Chapter 11 is downright bad.
Right. Yeah, good luck trying to get me to remember that, though, in about a minute.
Fair point.
Honestly, I think that's about everything, really. I think that's covered everything, because there's really not much here.
Nope.
And what is there is just kind of at best. And I mean, I don't understand how Square could look at that, the design synopsises and everything that I'm assuming they get before they greenlight production of a game, and think, this is good enough for us.
Well, they've greenlit they greenlit The Quiet Man, for fuck's sake. So it's.
I know, but you do more stuff in The Quiet Man.
Debatable, but go on.
Yeah, well, at least The Quiet Man has more than one action other than jump.
I guess.
Oh my god, he's right.
Oh my god, he's right.
Congratulations, Yuji Naka. You were, in terms of non-big franchise Square Enix games, you topped The Quiet Man.
Brilliant.
Well
Again,
done.
It's amazing how on this show we always find a bigger fish eventually to what we think is the worst of the worst.
And the past few times have seemed to be from the same company.
Yeah.
All right. You done?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. I know we had this conversation before, but there are times where I highly doubt that there are times where I keep forgetting we're supposed to be out of Square's dark years.
Oh, trust me, I don't blame you.
Well,
I mean,
one or two bad games doesn't invalidate all the other good ones. I mean, come on.
Oh, it doesn't. But I can see what Drew's mean. Is like, well, Square do occasionally teeter here and there to the point where you do have to fear a return to the dark age.
Well, of course. Well, by that logic, every company is always in a dark age because every company teeters. I mean, if you go by that logic.
No. Let me put it like this though. Like Square tend to have it where there's enough bad stuff that you do fear it. Like, oh, it's not just the sake of a random one, but let's be honest.
At least one every year.
Let's be honest. When it comes to stuff that's not an RPG, Square's not been doing the best here.
No.
Like, look at Avengers. Oof. Look at Quiet Man. Ouch.
Yeah.
And
That's a
now
whole.
this as
right.
well.
That's a whole
I
nother.
hate it. He's right. I saw someone say that Square should stop making anything else that is an RPG. We're like, no, they should just do better.
They should do better, but like
I heard
again,
the Tomb Raider reboots were good, except
All
Shadow.
right, that's a whole nother discussion altogether. Okay, yes, Tibbs?
Yeah, we'll probably get into that in about 10 years from now. That's about it. In terms of this game, it's just pretty bad. And it is, and if it is the end of Yuji Naka's career, it'll actually be pretty sad. Because, I mean, he went from helping to create Sonic the Hedgehog to probably I don't know, putting a huge dent in Square Enix's finances.
not only that, he made a game that was so bad, yet all the information was out there that we got a What Happened episode of it in the same month it released. Like, whoo, that's pretty bad.
All right, Tej.
Let the joy escape your lips, Dedge.
This game is pretty bad. I was still trying to go. Have I played any other platformer that's 3D platform that's worse than this? I'm like, besides, like the joke answer is Mario Sunshine and Sonic Heroes, but you.
Okay, no, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Really, Mario Sunshine worse than this? Seriously?
I said the joke answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to be fair, he did mention that those are the joke answers. Like, when it comes to legit answers, I guess there's Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
Oh yeah,
never
no,
played
that. Well, yeah, that game is worse, and Bubsy 3D is also worse.
I'm talking about games I've played specifically.
Sure. Oh, okay. In that case, I can't. I guess Ukulele on release day.
I haven't played that yet.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Okay, look, for as much as I didn't care for it on release day, I wonder if that may still have been better than this.
No, it
game,
was.
honestly.
It was. If any, it was definitely. I can like even in
It had multiple buttons.
even the 1.0 version, I can tell you was at the very least more fun than this.
But
Yeah.
the most frustrating thing about this game is like, I can't believe I'm saying this. It had so much potential.
Okay.
Yeah, it means nothing if the final product doesn't work. But it's like there are just so many little things that could have been changed. Like early in development, it's like, why are we doing the one button mechanic?
If I may, I think whereas something like Sonic 06, there was a cavalcade of troubles with that marred the potential. So you can say there were at least good intentions there. Balan Wonderworld is a case of potential that was mixed with bad intentions. And I do mean, like, technically, as far as we know, Naka went undeterred, which is probably the big problem, because you're mentioning all these bad ideas, they all made it into the game. The only bad idea that didn't make it into the game was just having everything be left to in-game cutscenes. And that's only because Visual Works forced themselves into this game to help make it better. Other than that, this went according to goddamn plan.
All right.
God. Carry on, Dedge.
It's just there's so many design choices that just make you go, why? Why is this here? Why? What's this padding for? We did not need 80 different costumes. You could have just boiled it down to, I don't know,
40?
10, and combined some of them into one ability. Why are we? Oh my God! Okay, yeah. I'm just mad. It's like, man, I didn't want Naka to fail.
None of us did.
I know
the thing.
there are. I get it. There are a lot of problems with him, but at the same time, it's like that was how many years ago? I'm willing to give the guy another shot, but it's just maybe he just needs people surrounding him to tell him no.
Well, yeah.
And also, please, rest Oshima's company. Nah, This is mean, but I feel like they should stop getting work.
Honestly, Des
Because
just
they're
brings
too
up a good point.
incompetent.
Like, okay, at least with Mighty Number 9, for as terrible as that game was, I get hiring a company like Inti Creates. They're stellar at Mega Man games. But Arzest? Why? The best game they made was a Sonic and Mario at the Olympics game.
All right. Let's
All right, Pedro. Someone else go, because I'm tired.
I'll go.
go ahead.
What can I say that hasn't been said already about this game? Like, okay, I'm going to be different and just start off with my biggest frustration about it. This game could easily have been significantly better if they, A, gave us more than just one button to work with, B, gave us better camera control, and C, had someone to regulate Naka better. Like, look, I'm not normally one who's all for executive mandates, but god damn it, this is a case where I feel like executive mandates needed to take a hold. And granted, maybe part of the reason for this is because Square aren't exactly as well renowned for their platformers these days. Like, God, when was the last ever platformer they did?
They've never been, Jova. This honestly, okay. When it comes to all their pre-Final Fantasy 1 games, there was a racing game like
Brave Fencer Musashi does have platforming in it, but it's not, necessarily focused on platforming.
I guess that's the closest thing I can think of, really, because aside from Balan Wonderworld, I can't think of a straight-up platformer published by Square Enix, to be honest with you.
So I think my theory is like, the reason Square didn't give executive mandates as much is because they just aren't that familiar with the platforming genre. So I guess they figured, let's leave it to Naka. He must know his stuff. Like, as far as we know, the only mandates they made was that there needed to be a narrative and that Naka needed to allow Visual Works to help out on the game. That's right. They had to executively mandate that Naka actually allow the game to be bigger and better than it was. Like, oh god, normally the stories you hear about executive mandates are the opposite of that, but if anything, the executive mandates helped this game. Holy crap. Okay, positives. Music. It's pretty great. Not everything's a winner, but I do like them, especially the lyrical songs here and there. The boss themes are very well varied, and I appreciate that they were able to make a boss theme for each different boss. Like, they could have easily have done the not necessarily lazy route, but have done the version where it's like, one boss theme across all bosses. So I appreciate that they each got a unique one. Some of the character stories are actually pretty good. Unfortunately, I can count those actually very good ones on one hand. So, yeah, everything else is either mediocre or just downright bad in the story department. And speaking about downright bad stuff, look, the CGI graphics, I think, are pristine, but they aren't always perfect. And like I mentioned, the cutscenes can be inconsistent with their logic and whatnot, which doesn't work because this is supposed to be a shared world and whatnot amongst all the stories here. That said, the in-game graphics are even worse. Like, imagine, this is like, one of those scam sort of mobile games where you see, like, you ever see one of those free-to-play games that has, like, this intense-looking anime cutscene, which really gets you pumped and everything, and then when you play the actual game, it's, like, just about a still images and sprites here and there, maybe, or, like, cheap toned-down graphics, like, yeah, this certainly feels like something that was originally supposed to be a mobile game. Oh my god. Everything looks so puppet-like when it moves, and I get the feeling it's because everything was rigged to the same skeleton. Which, yeah, provides some very uncanny results, as you've seen. Some of the level design is good. Again, a lot of it is bad, though, and baffling. And getting the Balan trophies can be such a chore. And I think that's the biggest problem with this game. Everything so much is moving and sometimes even wanting to jump. Because you need to switch to a different costume to be able to jump feels like a chore.
So what you're saying, Jova, is every second was a chore.
How do you do that? How do you make something as simple as jumping a chore? Naka found a way.
Like Balan Wonderworld, every second is a chore.
And then there's the actual grinding stuff for stuff like the Balan costume, which is terrible because, again, the Tims are random themselves here and there. And yeah, the Tims, they're a cute concept, but the actual... Especially since sometimes it won't even let you finish the level if you don't have enough of them with you. And stuff can happen to them. Thank goodness it didn't happen to Pedro. For all the polish this game supposedly had, it still has some game-breaking bugs and glitches, as Pedro showed.
And I found one that apparently only I found. Yay!
Amazing. Truly amazing.
I feel special now. I found this one glitch nobody else did.
Yes. But apparently that glitch made you kind of rage quit for a moment, it seems.
Well, yeah, I didn't retry immediately, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I did take a break because that really pissed me off, yeah.
Yeah. Everything's always funnier in hindsight. And speaking of hindsight, in hindsight, having read the novel now, the story should have been in the game. Like, yes, you gave us a novel that we have to pay extra money for to read. And digital only at that. But just... Ooh. And what do I have from the story? Well, it's probably better than the actual game. But all the same, it just feels like something that should have been in the story. It's just so painful thinking about it all. Because actually playing the game, you have to practically make your own story. And as we mentioned, a lot of the cutscenes are left very well open to debate on what actually happened in that. Not helped by the awkward dance scenes, which sometimes look very romantic in some cases.
Yep.
And again, so what do you get between Leo and Emma that really called for them to need a different campaign each? 2 cutscenes each. That's it. And hell, in some cases, as far as you know, the other character didn't really do anything based off of who you played as. Like, oh, it just feels like Knights, but done so god awful. Even the final boss is not always that fun, considering the segment where you get costumes at random. Some obviously working better than others. And speaking of which, the costumes can range from pretty good to decent to boring to meh to why does this exist to oh my god, this is awful to the Fox box. Oh boy, like they really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel with these costumes to the point where some are just blatant retreads of others.
Yep.
Is there anything else I haven't covered?
Not that I can think of, no.
Alright, I'm done. This game is god-awful, like I mentioned. Whereas Mighty Number 9 is the one that's the immense bludgeoning pain on you for like a shorter amount of time. This one gives you subtle pain that rolls up into a giant ball of pain and misery by the end. So have fun, kids!
Alright.
Go on, Pedro.
I think I've made pretty clear over the course of the game what I think of this game. So I'm not going to repeat both myself and what everybody else already said just now. So the point is, well, Naka-san, maybe you should have been a better team player. Maybe your career would have gone better if that was the case, and not just think entirely of and not just think about yourself. Just saying. The point is, yes. It's not even a matter of the fact. Okay, regardless of my feelings on Naka in general, Honestly, I don't think he has it in him anymore, to be honest with you. He's incredibly out of touch. And he's at a point in his career where nobody's going to give him a chance again because this game was just that much of a laughingstock. It's just done. Naka's done. Like, even if he tries to make a comeback, I would be incredibly surprised if somebody actually greenlights a project of his.
But Pedro, he still has Prope.
Well, Prop only has one employee in there, so I don't understand how exactly they can make that much thing. But anyway, not to mention, didn't he leave Prop altogether to join Square?
I thought he was the one employee who left at Prop.
It's I think it's like Treasure Games, where it's like there's only one employee left.
Well, whatever. The point is, yeah, Naka's done. It's abundantly clear to me that Naka's done. I'm just hoping. I'm really Yamazaki is gonna be fine because he's still at Square Enix. He's still making games. He's now composing for Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, so he's gonna be fine.
And hey, to his credit, the soundtrack of Balan Wonderworld definitely got overall praise. There were some detractors, but no. I mean, like, no, he should be fine.
As for Oshima, it's a shame that Oshima has to have such an untalented studio because Oshima is such a talented artist and he deserves to be in a better place where his art can be better put to better use.
But isn't he the one who formed Arzest?
Yes.
Yes.
The problem is that he's clearly, again, just like Naka, he's not really a good team leader. He should just go back to being a middleman, as in an artist working under someone. The point is, yes, I'm hoping Oshima manages to get, at the very least, he's clearly still got it. So I hope he manages to pick himself up. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. So yeah, that was Balan Wonderworld. Every second was a chore. I guess tune in for Rodea and the Sky Sorter when we eventually do that, so we can close out the post Sega Naka era, I guess. Because I'm not doing Ivy the Kiwi, because that game, while pretty fun, it's not really something that would make an interesting commentary out of. All right, see you then.
See ya.